should hit and run, but they don't know, they don't know, they don't know. Nobody knows but us how we roll, how we roll. Nobody knows what we got but us, but us. Let them keep talking, let them believe that they know, 'cause they don't, no they don't, no they don't. Let them believe that.
Yo, what's good YouTube? It's your boy Jayden, dating coach, and in this video today, I'm gonna talk to you about how to control your emotions as a man. This is something I have mastered from doing cold approach and working on myself. And it's not just something that I've mastered, I've been able to teach it to all the guys who've been in my programs, right? So I don't just teach guys how to approach women, how to talk to women, I also teach emotional mastery, okay? And so that's what we're gonna talk about today. Now, what motivated me to make this video is me remembering something in the morning. And I was thinking about what kind of video I wanna make today. And then all of a sudden I remembered one of my previous clients, you know? And I remembered a conversation that we had in a cafe, okay? And the conversation was about emotional control as a man. And I remember that there was a girl there sitting just right next to us, some random chick. She was sitting right next to us in the cafe, and she was like listening into our conversation, but I wasn't like aware of it, right? Because I was just focused on my client who had paid me, right? To talk to him and help him out with his emotional sticking points, and also to get him laid, right? Because that's what I do, you know? And so I'm teaching him how to control his emotion, which I'm gonna, you know, explain to you as well, step by step. But this chick, she listens into the conversation and she goes, hi, excuse me, you said that men need to control their emotions. And I go, yes, I said that. And she goes, oh, I don't think that's true. You know, men should just be free like women. They should be able to express themselves emotionally and be vulnerable and be open and, you know, like, just let the emotion out, basically. That's what she said. So I let her talk because she went on a rant. So I let her talk. I let her just, you know, get the rant out, you know? Some people just need to get the rant out. So she got the rant out of her system. Then I said, okay, let me ask you a question. And she goes, okay. And I say, let's say that you meet a guy that you like on a first date. Okay, so imagine you're sitting at a bar just for drinks with a guy you like on a first date. Imagine that. Okay, she starts to imagine. Then I say, in the middle of the date, he breaks down and starts crying. And the reason why he breaks down and starts crying is because he lost his job that day. So before that, he was smiling, joking, laughing, but he couldn't keep it together no more. You know what I mean? He couldn't keep it together, you know? He just starts to break down and he starts to cry right in front of you. And not just a tear, but like real crying. Would you have sex with that guy the same night? Would you date that guy? Would you more, you know? Would you want that guy to be your boyfriend? She, without any hesitation, I kid you not, my G, without any hesitation, she goes, no, of course not. And I said, aha. When you're saying men should be free to express themselves emotionally and just let it out, you're not thinking in terms of attraction. You're thinking in general terms, right? You're thinking about like just living as a human being. But we men, we can already like in the private cry or do whatever the fuck we want to do. But we're trying to get something in life. We're trying to get chicks, you know, or we're trying to make money. We're trying to improve our business. And our emotion, our way of being vulnerable or expressing ourselves, it has a negative impact. It doesn't give you anything. It doesn't increase your bank account. It doesn't get your dick wet. It doesn't do anything for you, actually, having that little release, right? quick announcement here, guys, before you continue the rest of the video. I just launched a school community for serious action takers only. For guys who want to go out, approach women, date women, pull women back home, for guys who want to get a girlfriend or maybe even build a rotation, okay? It's called the Cold Approach Brotherhood. It's a support network that is designed to help you take action. Inside the group, you get weekly missions, actionable missions, where you can go out and meet women and apply the lessons learned. You get weekly infields. From now on, I will only post my infields inside the school community. You also get weekly natural game insights from me, who have gone out for 12 years now. I got some deep insights, and I will only post those deep insights inside the group. Now, I want to say one thing. If you're a guy who's not serious about cold approach, don't join the group. I don't need your money, and I don't need lurkers inside the group. It's a paid group. It costs $33 a month, and it's only for serious guys who want a support network behind them, okay? It's for guys who want to take action. And so if you're a guy who's not interested in taking action, don't sign up to this school community. Now, if you're a guy who's serious about this, who wants to go out and wants to enjoy himself, who wants to actually build his dream dating life, check out the link at the top of the description. You can find my school community there. And now that's all I wanted to say. Enjoy the rest of this video. Peace. And so we were all laughing, you know, and my client, he was in tears. He was in tears because when society at large and women tell you just let it out, they're not talking about attraction, okay? They're not talking about, you know, let it out so my pussy can get wet. They're basically saying let it out so you can be human. But like, we don't give a fuck about being human. We're human every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can cry in my apartment. Like, it doesn't matter, right? So it's not about being human, it's about getting something, right? Like, be honest with yourself. If you're watching this, you want to get something, right? And so that's the intro, a little bit longer than I thought, but let's get into the video. And my videos are for high IQ people, for intelligent people, for people who actually want to learn something. You know, I'm not in this TikTok brain category, right? So if you watch this video up until now, props to you. So let's get into the video, right? So when you are a guy who wants something, we've established that you want to get laid, you want money, you want to conquer, you want to be effective in society. How do you manage and how do you control your own emotion? This is what we're going to talk about. So the first thing that you have to realize, this is a mental shift. Okay, the first thing that you have to realize, the mental shift, is this. When you say control your emotions, it starts you off in a negative pattern already. So if somebody tells you how to control your emotions, or I tell you how to control your emotions, it's almost like your emotion is like a wild horse. Imagine a horse, like an uncontrollable wild stallion, like 200 kilo muscle, you know, like a wild stallion, like some black stallion, you know, of a horse, like a genetic freak. That's just completely out of control. Like, nobody can ride the horse. Like, and everybody's like holding the rope, trying to rein the horse in, you know. It's almost like that's how you kind of start to view your emotions, like it's a wild horse that you have to like reel in and like, you know, you're playing a tug of war with your emotions. That is not a good place to be in, because it's actually saying that your emotions, hey, how are you? Everything good? It's actually saying that your emotions are like a separate part of you that you can't control. You're basically saying that you're a slave to your own emotions. So don't think about it as how can you control your emotions. Think about it in a way where it's how can you channel your emotions, okay? How can you use your emotions to get you closer to what you want? Not control, but channel, use. Maybe another way of thinking about it is make productive use of your emotions, okay? So, how do you do this? Step number one, okay? There are 3 steps. Step number 1, This is one of my favorite ways of channeling and using my emotion. Step number one is do more. Do more, okay? So, for example, this is very good. So step number one, do more. It's very good for frustration. It's very good for like when you feel like you don't get what you want. Let's say you've been approaching women, you're getting rejected, or you're not getting the job that you want, or you're getting flaked on, you're getting canceled on, you're getting rescheduled. Like you have expectations about that things are gonna go well and they don't go well. You see what I'm saying? Or like just you're not getting what you want. There's frustration, or you're losing. You're catching L's left, right, and center. You're losing, right? So you will have frustration. You will have anger. You will have, fuck this. You'll have this emotion that's like, yo, fuck this. I don't even give a shit anymore. You know what I mean? Or you're angry, or you're like just frustrated. Like, oh man, I just can't seem to get it right. Do more. So frustration, anger, these are very intense emotions. So what I like to do is, for example, if I'm getting flaked a lot by women, or I'm not getting what I want in terms of cold approach, I do more. I approach more women. I ask more women out. And I use the emotion. So when I'm feeling the frustration, when I'm feeling the anger, instead of letting it affect me and staying at home and just being like an affected person, I go to do more approaches. Because the emotion is intense, right? It's energy. It's loaded. Anger, frustration. There's a lot of energy there. I take the energy and I use it. I approach another girl, and another girl, and another girl, and another girl. I stay longer on the street. I go to more bars. I go to more parties, okay? And I remember when I used to do jiu-jitsu, so I don't do jiu-jitsu anymore. But when I used to do jiu-jitsu, it was the same thing. When I was starting out, I was getting tapped out left, right, and center. I was getting slept, man. They were choking the shit out of me. And it made me so fucking angry. And so what I did was, here's what I did. I came earlier to the jiu-jitsu practice. You can come earlier, and there's people who are there early from previous classes and so on and so forth. I would roll with them. I would stay longer. I would do more classes. For example, maybe there was a class that runs from 4 till 6, and then there's another one from 6 till 8, right? So 2 hours each class. So when I was starting out, I would just go to one class and go home, but I was getting choked out left, right, and center. So I was like, yo, nigga, I'm gonna take every class, right? I did the morning class, I did the afternoon class, I did the evening class. I would stay early, I would roll early, I would stay late, I would do whatever it took. Now, what happened is when you immerse yourself, because that's what it actually is. Do more is immerse yourself. You get skills, you get more experiences, more situations, you get more learning, and then you can break past your plateau. So in jiu-jitsu, what happened was I didn't get choked out as much anymore, and with women I didn't get flaked as much anymore because I pushed through the barrier and the plateau that I had by adding more volume, doing more, okay? So hold on, I get a notification. All right, all good. So that's step one, do more. It is an excellent way. It's one of my go-to ways of dealing with emotions. My go-to way. It is very, very good. Now, I'm going to talk about the second way, okay? The second way, which is equally as good. It just depends on what kind of, what you want to do, right? Because I'm going to give you multiple options. Do more is amazing. But the second one is also amazing. The second one is learn to sit with your emotion. Learn to sit with your emotion. Today I'm seeing a lot of people on the street that I know for some reason. It's Sunday. I think it's it's one of those days, huh? Okay, so the second one is learn to sit with your emotion. What does this simply mean? This is something that a lot of guys don't understand, but I can explain it to you very simply. Now, when you have an emotion in your body, anger, fear, frustration, anxiety, self-hatred, whatever emotion that you have, all of us can go into private and sit alone, close your eyes, and put your awareness into the body, okay? Close your eyes and put your awareness into the body. Every emotion manifests physically. Fear might be in the chest. Fear might be in the chest, or like your thoughts are looping around. Anger, you might be tense. Physically, you might be tense, like, "Argh!" Your jaw might be tight. You feel like you want to kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? Argh! Anger. You guys get the point, right? Every emotion has a physical manifestation. Tightness, tension, racing thoughts. If you're sad, you might have like tears behind your eyes, like a teary-eyed sensation. And all I'm simply saying is, sitting with your emotion basically just means this: you observe what you're feeling without trying to change it, or without trying to get something or do something. You just observe. An analogy that I like to talk about is something that I like to do here, especially when I'm with women, but also when I'm by myself. We have a beautiful port here in Barcelona, which is like 10 minutes away. I like to sit there, and they have benches all around the port, and just stare out into the sea. Now, when you're staring out into the sea, are you trying to achieve something or do something? No, you're just kind of like watching the waves, right? Enjoying watching the waves, just being there, being present, feeling the wind on your skin, and you're just kind of like watching the waves, right? So in the same way, when you're watching your emotions, that's all it really is. You're just observing without trying to change it, without trying to control it. And this teaches you something, but it not just teaches you something, it helps dissolve the emotion. Often, why emotions run rampant, fear, anger, frustration, self-doubt, all this kind of stuff. Why it runs rampant in your life is you've not brought your attention towards it, right? Because if it's left unchecked by your awareness, it's running in the background. So it's running in the background, running in the background, running in the background. And it comes out in your conversations. It comes out in your decision making. I'm not gonna approach that girl. You might think to yourself consciously, like, yeah, I'm not gonna approach her because I'm tired or something. But really what's running around in the background is you don't feel enough. You feel angry and upset because some chick flaked you a week ago and it hurt your ego, and that's why you're not doing the approach in the moment. Or if there's a promotion available and you can take the promotion, you're not taking the promotion because you don't feel good enough, you don't feel enough deep down. Well, what I'm here to tell you is that feeling of not being enough, it is manifested somewhere in your body as tension or a set of emotions or thought patterns, thought loops. And you can become an individual who is very aware and can recognize and see the pattern. And that's how you're able to step out of it. When you observe it, without trying to change it, you become aware of it. And when you become aware of it, you can then step out of it and say, this is something I don't want anymore in my life. So basically meditating. Step 2, that's meditation. Now, step 3, which is also one of my all-time favorite ones. All-time favorite ways of controlling my emotion. Again, we talked about this earlier. Controlling your emotion is a very bad way of saying it, because it's almost like your emotion is like a wild stallion that you cannot control, which is insane. Like, no, it's something that you can channel your emotions. You can use your emotions. You can observe your emotions. You can do a lot. You know, you can do a lot. You can do a lot. They're not uncontrollable, okay? The third way is solitude. Now, this is something I really like. Solitude, okay? I will explain to you exactly what I mean. Now, this one I reserve for sadness, okay? So if it's anger or fear or frustration or something like worldly, I usually do step 1 or step 2. But if it's pure sadness, like I feel sad, then I do step 3. It's called solitude, okay? I will explain it to you right now. So when would I be in solitude, okay? If I'm catching mega L's. I'm gonna give you a hypothetical scenario. So let's say a guy, or let's say me. I go out and I get rejected all day. Let's say I was a normal guy, right? I go out, I get rejected all day. And then I go to sleep, and then I wake up, and the next morning I'm going to my architecture job. You know, let's say I'm an architect. So I'm going to my architecture job. And then as soon as I come up, so all yesterday, I got rejected all day by women. And then today I'm going to my architecture job, and I'm there at the architecture job, and I show up to the office. Hey, good morning, everyone. And my boss is like, yo, we need to talk. I'm like, oh, okay. So I go sit down with the boss, talk with the boss, and the boss says, I'm sorry, Jayden, but we gotta let you go. We gotta let you go. And I'm like, what do you mean let me go? Like, that's it. You're terminated. Done. See you. Ciao. Hasta la vista, baby. So not only have I been rejected by women, but then also my job let me go. And then I come home, I get a letter from the bank saying that I got issue with my bank account. Then some family member calls me and is in trouble. And it's like, yo, there's so much going on. Holy shit. Like, it's overwhelm. So basically, if I experience overwhelm, which basically means I'm catching L's from like 10 different directions at the same time, right? For me personally, because I go out and I do cold approach, I'm used to rejection. I'm used to approaching women. I'm used to talking to women. Okay, and it's not overwhelming for me, but sometimes it's like women plus my finances plus my work plus my family plus my neighbors plus it's like everything at the same time. And when it's too much input, it causes overwhelm for you. Okay, and we all have different thresholds for overwhelm. Mine is super high, like very high. Like most things that would overwhelm people don't overwhelm me at all. But I also have a threshold, and once it's crossed, I am overwhelmed, my G. You know what I'm saying? And so when I'm in overwhelm, I go into solitude. What does that mean? I simply spend time by myself. I love it. I play video games. I chill. I have a hammock in my house, so I swing in my hammock. I chill. I watch movies. I take it easy. Maybe go to massage and then chill. Maybe I go to the port by myself and just sit there and listen to the fucking sound of the wind. Basically, not interacting with humans, bare minimum, and spending as much time as I can just by myself. Now for me, because I'm a little bit more advanced in my emotional mastery, if I am overwhelmed, I just need one evening. So a couple days ago, I was very overwhelmed and I took one evening off. I came home at like 5 o'clock. I was super overwhelmed. I turned off my phone. I chilled in front of my computer. I played video games. I was just chilling, I had my feet up. I was playing video games. I was not thinking about anything, not talking to anyone, not engaging with anyone, just being in my room. I locked the door even. Complete no contact from the world, not thinking about girls, not thinking about work, not thinking about money, not thinking about anything. Solitude. And I've noticed that for me, when I feel overwhelmed, I need about an evening or half a day. And the next day I'm ready to go again, right? But if I compare myself to, also I'm 32 and I've been working with emotional mastery since I was 19 years old. So I've been doing this for over a decade, But when I was like younger, I remember when I was like 24 and I felt overwhelmed, I think I needed a couple days, a couple days, 3-4 days being by myself. It's just, as I got older, I got faster. Nowadays, I just need an evening where I just let myself, feel sad, or let myself, I just let it out in private, just for an evening or half a day. And the next day, my brain automatically goes into, okay, so what can we do about the situation? How can we grow? How can we evolve? Because I'm an adult. I need to pay bills. I need to get shit done, right? Right? So a little bit of solitude followed by action. That is actually the third way of how to channel your emotions. Now, that's all I wanted to say in this video today. This is a little bit of a different video than I usually make. Normally I talk about cold approach tactics, how to bang more chicks. But if you master this, you will definitely guaranteed bang more chicks and do better in life. with your work and anything that you do in your life. Now, that's all I wanted to say in this video today. If you're a guy who's struggling with emotional mastery, you're not able to channel your emotions properly, or you're interested in learning more about this and you're interested in improving your dating life, you can check out the link at the top of this, the description at www.awakeninstinct.com. You can find all my coaching there, my G's. If you like this video, like the goddamn video, comment down below, subscribe, and I see y'all, my brothers, in that next video. Peace.